Hi everyone, welcome back to Hedgehog Colors. This is part 2 of the new We Are Memory Keeper quills. And so some projects I have done, and I'm going to set another one going. I have the Singe quill that I'm going to pop in now, and it's going to create something fun for us to play with and try out. So going back to what we talked about yesterday in that video, first of all, the fabric quill. So that's a pen based. Again, this is the one that I bought that had all the adapters. So you don't have to buy this every time because that same adapter I'm currently using in my Singe quill. So you can just buy that once. And there's a number of pens in here. There's colored pens, there's a bleach pen, and there's a washable pen. So the one we used was the navy just because it would show up on my fabric, and you can see it here. So I did happy birthday. So you could draw on here, you could do the washable one, and then it would show up on here. You could embroider or sew and then wash it and it would all disappear and you just have your sewing left. Or you could do bleaching and then have a really cool bleach design in there too. So really love this system, worked super well. You can see, it looks really nice and the pressure worked perfectly. So next up, we tried out the etch quill. So this is the etch quill, and in this one, you do have to buy the whole thing, but this is the quill that you get, and then of course you have your adapters. We've got the Sizzix, the Brother, the Cricut, and the Silhouette adapter. So you have the adapter for all of them. And then when you've done that, it also comes with some acrylic pieces in it. And I love the outcome of this. I was really, really impressed. So you just put it in your pen holder, you select draw on your Cricut, and then when it's etched out, you get to see this. It's a little bit harder to see. I'm going to see if I put something stronger behind it, if you can see on there. It looks great when you see it, and you can really feel how it's etched in there. So that was that one. Then next up was the bevel quill. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed in this one because with these tools you have to put them in the pen slot. You can't put them in the tool slot because the Cricut knows. And it comes with these shapes. So we use one of the shapes that comes with it. Again, same quill. All the adapters, you can't buy that on its own. You do have to buy the big box full. And I'm going to link up a couple of places that I found have them on sale below. But this was kind of a bit disappointing. I don't know if you can really see, but it's really, really light. It's not beveled like on the box. It's super deep beveled. It really isn't when it comes out. And because it's in the pen slot, I can't change the pressure. That for me was a bit of a disappointment. Okay, so that was that. The glue quill is going to work exactly the same as the Singe quill that I just showed you. It's just a glue pen. I tried one just by scribbling and it worked great. So, but you can add glitter to it. You can add adhesive reactive foils to it. All of those kinds of things. Anything you want to glue down. So the Singe quill, this is the pen. Here, I'm not sure what happened to the lid. Here it is. So this is the pen. It draws onto your piece of wood. So you can't really see it now because it's kind of soaked in. So it's a clear liquid. And then all you're going to do is heat it. And I'm going to show you where the magic happens. So she says in hope. I mean, I watched the tutorials, I read the instructions, but I just like doing things live because I think you get a better impression of how things are going to look. This is the new Wagner heat tool if you haven't seen it. I've used it in a couple of videos. It has this really cool stand bit, I'll show you in a minute. And it also has two different heat options. So it has this high one and it has this low one. American Crafts have done a heat gun to go with this Singe quill. I don't really know how long you're supposed to heat it. It literally just says heat. And on the videos I watched, it looked really quick. So I guess we're going to find out. The idea is it creates a chemical burn reaction as you heat it. And you end up with like a really cool singed effect in your wood. So I'm just going to keep going for a minute and see what happens. Here it comes. So I can actually see, it's probably really hard to see on the video because right now it's really light. But that first A on there is just getting darker and darker. Maybe you can start to see it come up if I go to the side a bit more. So it looks like you just have to heat it for a while. But we can now start to see this kind of pop out. Here it comes. So yeah, so it's just a matter of heating it for a little while. And now you can see it start to singe. So you could, do like an ombre, I guess, if you didn't want everything quite as dark. Because you see, the longer I heat it for, the darker it's kind of getting. And this is Adventure Awakes. I think that's what, Awaits even, that's what we put on there. I'm just heating it. As I say, this is going to work in your Cricut, your Scan and Cut, your Sizzix Eclipse, and in your Silhouette Cameo as well. So you can use it in any of the electronic machines. And they're pens, so you could use them through a stencil. You could hand letter with them. You could literally do anything. I mean, you could draw if you can draw. I really can't, so I'm not going to attempt that. But you really can do, you know, whatever you want with them. So I guess the patience is now in the heating, but it's definitely working and coming up. Okay. We're nearly there. So adventure is pretty much done. And you're going to want to do this on some kind of heat resistant surface. I have a laminate on here, so I'm not so worried about the heat, but I suggest doing it on something, you know, your glass mat probably would be perfect. And we're nearly done with our weights. So overall, the quills, let's kind of just do a recap. So we had the fabric quill, really like that, and you just want to buy one of the pen-based quills because that gives you the adapters you need, and the others you can just buy the pens. And I suggest buying the fabric one if you want all of them, because it gives you the most pens in there, and it was the most cost-effective way to like break them up. Then you can just buy the glue quill pens and the singe quill pens. You don't have to worry about anything else. And they all seem to work really well. The bevel quill I was really disappointed in because it doesn't push very hard, and being in the pen slot you really can't, you know, do anything about that. And then finally the etch quill I think is super cool. I want to try it on deeper acrylics and things like that. But I do love how that works and how I can etch with it. Now there are a Cricut version of these tools as well. I'm going to be doing a review on those, and then it'll be easier to compare and contrast between the two options. But you can see just here, I mean I could keep heating it and make it darker because I kept going, but you can see right there, I mean look, it just looks really cool. And of course there's no texture in the surface. You could then go over it with something like the etch quill or things like that, I guess, and add texture if you wanted to, but you could embellish all sorts of fun things. But I love how that effect looks, and so easy. And as I say, it's a pen, so you can draw, you can use a stencil, you can use your electronic cutting machine, you can literally use anything you want in it, which I think is awesome. So there is a review of all of the quills. You can go back and watch yesterday's video, which tells you about like what I bought, what you need to buy, what you definitely do not need to buy, and then today's video was more about just using them and showing you some finished products. So check out both videos. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Check out the links below for exclusive coupon codes and some items on sale as well. And I will see you again tomorrow, another tip, trick, tutorial, or maybe something a little bit different. So make sure you've hit subscribe and rung the bell for notifications. In the meantime, happy crafting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.